Welcome to the Ramthun Report.
Hello everybody, today is Tuesday the 12th of October, and again I date the day with this recording because it's going to be a clip, and it's okay because we'll have more information later this week. First thing I want to say is I had quite a few people pinging me last week, Friday and Saturday into Sunday, where's the Ramthun Report? I got to tell you, that humbled me greatly. I was really impressed with the fact that people anticipate these weekly updates, and I'm sorry about not getting one out timely. I'm going to touch on that in just a moment, but I was really moved by that. I also want to tell all of you great and wonderful people out there that the Ramthun Report is international. I've got apparently viewers in Canada, so we're officially national and international with these broadcasts, and I'm deeply honored to not only serve, but to get the message out to the people who are interested in hearing it and continue to demand it. So that's what we're here for, to serve. The thing that happened to me from a chess match perspective, you know, you got the move, counter move, anticipate, and you got to pace yourself sometimes and hit the clock button between moves, kind of a thing, is the dramatic shift in activity on Thursday. There was a newspaper individual who works at the Urinal Sentinel, yes, I said it right, who was announcing formally and publicly and everywhere that the subpoenas that Justice Gableman had put out earlier in the week were on hold, and everything was kind of grinding to a halt. Now that's quite dramatic, because there was a time frame from last week till this coming Friday where people were being expected to come in and testify, and to have that dramatic shift, I was ready to go with the Ramthun Report. Tristan was all teed up. We had an agenda, if you would, and when that curveball came in, I felt very uncomfortable about getting the cart ahead of the horse and saying things prematurely or with lack of depth of knowledge to do it right. And I'm very concerned about doing it right. I want the people to receive factual, pertinent information on a timely basis, but I'm not going to do a Ramthun Report for the sake of doing a Ramthun Report if I'm not factual and accurate, and that was why we didn't send one out on Friday. So we were teed up and ready to go. We'll have more depth to add from last week's activities, as well as what's going on right now, which leads me to when that happened last week, when the subpoenas were held up, and then they weren't held up, and then there was radio interviews by Justice Gableman, and if I remember right, Representative Robin Voss as well. That was more for damage control, and basically it was to point fingers at the source that was saying things that weren't true. I didn't know what was true, and to be honest with you, I still don't know what's exactly true, because there is zero communication with the Campaign and Elections Committee or with anybody who's interested in this topic of election integrity like I am. So I'm a little bit in the dark on what's actually happening, but I do want to send out a press release today following Representative Branchen's press release yesterday, which was very well read on my part. I was really grateful that she did that, because it put a stake in the ground and said, wait a second, time out, here's what the chair thinks. And I needed that. I needed her to say something to help mitigate some of the activity that was going on outside of our control, as well as to help me figure out where I can slot in to help keep the ball rolling. And so her press release was very well timed and accurate, to the point where it gave me a couple of days to regroup, and now we're going to hit it again, because we've got to call out some additional injustices about how this process was aligned, with the speaker hiring somebody without consult from the Campaign and Elections chair, and then to align that individual to the speaker position with a contract that binds them in, gag orders essentially. It's actually more of a non-disclosure agreement. It's an NDA, it's not a contract for services. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I'd like to put out a press release today, before in the day as well, to speak a little bit about my concerns, to piggyback off of Rep. Branchen's issue, because there's some depth here of grave concern about process, and I'm not going to use the word illegal or illegalities rather, and yet it's close to that, I think. I really want to get clarity on what's allowable and what's not allowable, because at the end of the day, we need to get an audit in place and have it deliver the detail for prosecution and investigations afterwards, not before. We got to get the audit first, and then investigation and prosecution after. So that's the quick update for today. Stay tuned for coming attractions. We'll have a full Ramthun Report this week, I promise. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.